Yo, this is it. I'm Mr. Fade, and you're listening to Attack of the Beats on IllMuzik.com. And just to clarify, it's Mr. Fade. Previously known as DJ Fade. Before that, it was MC Fade. And then it was, first it was just Fade, whatever. But yeah, Mr. Fade. Because the reason why I'm saying that is because just recently, I think it was on Twitter, somebody gave me a shout out and they're like, yo, shout out to Mr. Fader. I'm like, Mr. Fader? That sounds like some evil villain from a video game or something. Anyway. Alright, so, actually, you know what? I gotta set this shit up here. Hold on a sec. Alright, so let's get to reviewing the beats here. First up, we got INDS with Catharsis. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was INDS with Catharsis. This is a really dope beat. I like this shit. Okay, and first off, I'm just gonna say that it's one thing I always try to push is the bass line. You gotta have a nice bass line, or else the beat's gonna be it's just gonna be dry. It's kind of like when you're doing a drum track. You got some nice drums, even if it's, let's say it's drums from a drummer. Okay, and you play it, it sounds nice, whatever, and then you add some compression to it or saturation, let's say. And then you notice a big difference. That's why a lot of people use compression, because then you notice a big difference on it right away. It's like, okay, the drums sound lively now. So that's why it's like, in your case, it's good the way you have the bass, but it's just so loud. That's the thing. I mean, the whole beat's lively. It's good and everything. I love the way you did the low note vocals. That's really dope. Then you had the other little vocal snippet that was higher up. That was great. But then you brought in the other one that's really high. It's like, it's almost like a chipmunk sound and stuff. That one I didn't like. Because really, I mean, I don't like those sounds anyway, but also it's just, it's not needed. Because you got the low one, the high one, it's fine. And then later on, you bring in some nice synth that comes in. And that really capped it off nice. I like that. You had some nice synth in the back. That was a nice little build up and all that. And I like the use of the reverb. You had some nice use of reverb on the vocals and stuff that made the whole beat very spacious and all that. The problem though, like I said, is the bass, because it's just so loud that it drowns out the drums. Okay, so like the drums are okay, like they're just kind of chilling there, whatever. I mean, that's an example where you could use compression, let's say, but it's just that because the bass, I just really don't hear the drums a lot. So that's why I would just tone down the bass, man. I mean, it's a nice bass line, it's okay. It's just standard. It fits the beat nicely. It's just too loud. That's the only thing. I mean, I'm always pushing about the mixing, man. I mean, mixing is very important. And it's not difficult. It really isn't. When you're first starting, yeah, of course it's going to be difficult and stuff, but it really isn't. So, so just the bass, just tone that down because that's really the only thing. That and those chipmunk vocals, you got to get rid of that because you don't even really need it. It's one of those beats where it's just like a minimal type beat, so you don't really need a lot of stuff in there, and so I would just get rid of that. But overall, I really like it. It's a nice beat. Nice shit. All right, so next up we got Lionel Suave with Zombies. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Lionel Suave. You gotta tell me how to pronounce this, man. Is it Suave or Suave? I'm assuming it's just Suave. Suave would be better, actually. But yeah, all right. So that's with the Zombies. All right, so okay, so this beat, the main thing is right off the bat, the mix. Okay, it's way too hot, way too loud. So you gotta tone that shit down. I understand with trap beats, it's gonna be like something heavy in the mix and stuff, but still there's no excuse for that, really. I mean, I don't understand why a lot of people do that, but yeah, it's just very hot. I mean, it's not distorted until later on. I'd say the last 30 seconds of the beat I start to hear the distortion in the bass, so you got to watch that stuff. Okay, so you got to really watch those meters and all that. Now the bass line I really like. It's dope because it's that like saw type bass. It's really nice. I love the way you used it. It's just that it's just like the previous beat is just too loud in the mix. Okay, so I understand it's going to be the main part of your beat, let's say, but it doesn't need to be that heavy. Okay, so it's just very, very loud and heavy. So you just got to tone it down a bit, and trust me, as long as you mix it right and stuff, it's going to be great. I mean, it's going to still sound good in the mix because it's just right now it sounds nice, but people that are going to listen to this, they're going to say, it's just too distorted, too loud, So. But I love the bass though. It does sound nice. But like I said, later on it does get distorted, so you gotta watch that shit. Now for the drums, first of all, I love the way you brought the beat in. That was dope because it really threw me off, the way you did the little pattern and all of a sudden the beat comes in. It's a slower type pattern, so that was nice. I like that. I think that was probably the best part that the beat really drew me in, so the drums are good. It's just that snare, I mean, I know a lot of people use those types of snares, but I'm saying like, it's good that you're using it. It's just that I think you could have had at least a part where you have a much thicker snare, like something that smacks a little more, just to layer it with that snare, because the one you have now is very, very thin. and those types of snares. That's why you hear all these snare rolls from people and stuff, because they can get away with it with this type of sound, with this type of snare. Whereas with a thicker smacking snare, you can't really do that. It's going to be too loud, So, but in your case, yeah, you could use that. You could layer that, here and there throughout the beat and stuff, Because the reason why I'm saying this is because when you have a smacking snare, what I like to do is add some reverb to give some space to the beat, right? And with your style of beat here, it sounds like a spacious type beat. So I would try that, So have some like kind of smacking snare. You could add a little reverb to it, or a lot, and it might just give it a different feel and stuff, But that's just me. That's my opinion. I mean, whatever. But it is nice. I like the pattern and stuff. I just think that the snare, that tone of the snare could, gets a little repetitive after a while, a little kind of annoying in a way, But you know what I mean. But anyway, but it's a dope beat. I like it. But watch those levels, man. Watch them. All right. So next up, we got McMain. Now it's not MC Main like that. Not McMain like he works for McDonald's. No. It's McMain. Yeah. All right. So McMain with Tag It or Tajay, whatever. Let's check it out.
You guys having a good time? Time.
All right. Okay, so that was McMain with Tag It. Could be interpreted as Tajay, whatever. But so this beat, it's only 45 seconds, so it's kind of hard to really gauge it and stuff. But from what I hear, it sounds good. I like it. I like that sound, that main sound you have. I don't know exactly what that is, but it does sound nice. It sounds something evil, so that's dope. Now the thing is that right off the bat is the drums, because the drums, you got your kick and snare. A few times you throw in a little something on percussion, whatever, but you're just missing some hats, man. I mean, throw in some hats, and I would say actually in your case, throw in some fast hi-hats, okay? Throw them in, because right now you just got the kick and snare, so the drum track sounds so dry and dull, okay? So add the hi-hats. That's going to spice it up immediately. And don't be afraid to play with the swing, okay? Add some swing to this, because right now it's just the drums are just too choppy, too robotic. Excuse me. But so add the hi-hat, play with some swing, okay? Add some swing to the kick and snare, to the hi-hat too. And you'll notice a difference right away, okay? So then with the bass though, it sounds good. I just think that, you just need to play with it, really. I mean, just try to play with it. Try to come up with a nice bass line, okay? Because the one you have now is fine. I was just expecting, you have a couple, boom, like that. But then I was expecting, towards the end of the fourth bar, let's say, where you go up and a couple of notes with the bass or something, and then drop back down. I think that's what would really be nice on this, because that's what I was expecting to hear, okay? That's what I would do with it. So don't be afraid to play with the bass line and stuff, because right now it's just kind of basic, so you can build on it. That's the good thing. You can just build on it and stuff. So the bass, play with the bass line, try to come up with something new. You got to spice up those drums, and don't play with the compression and saturation too much. Just try to build a nice foundation with the kick, snare, and hi-hat, and work your way up from there, and maybe add some cymbals or something like that. But that main sound I really like, because it does fit. It's nice. It's eerie. So I think the only thing really is you just got to have the drums and bass, just kind of spice it up, and that'll just bring out the rest right there. So but give it a shot. All right, so next up we got Squall with Spaghetti Beat. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Squall with Spaghetti Beat. All right, so for this one, the first thing I noticed, man, is the drums. Okay, very tight drums. I like that shit, especially that snare. That snare is just beautiful, man. I really like that. Now the thing with the kick is, it's nice. It fits with the snare very well. I just think that the kick needs to have a bit of compression on it because it's just, I think it's too up front and center. Okay, so listening to on headphones, it's a little bit much. Okay, so either that or bring the volume down just a bit or whatever. But I mean, that's just me, nitpicking, let's say, or whatever. But it is something I would address, whatever. But now, as far as the actual instruments being used, I mean, you got the piano, which is dope, and then I guess it's a guitar you have on the left. Now, for that, I mean, it sounds nice. I like the piano and stuff, and a guitar, but I just find, especially with the guitar, it just sounds like you're just, playing with it all the way through and stuff, like it's just like, you just keep hitting the notes randomly, let's say, and stuff, which is okay, but I wouldn't do it with that type of sound, let's say, and if you do, I would just bring the volume down so it's not so loud. Like, it's in the mix, you can hear it, it's there, but it's not prominent, let's say, because for me, I would make the piano the main part of this beat, not the guitar, because the piano sounds really dope. It's nice, and you can do a lot with piano. It's just like, right now you have the guitar is like actually like your main instrument that you're using and stuff. So, just that sound of the guitar, I just think that it could get a little repetitive for somebody listening to this. I mean, maybe if you have a rapper on top of this, it's not going to be as bad, let's say, but maybe you could just use that on the hook. Like the way you use it, that's fine, whatever. But for this beat, yeah, I would just focus mainly on the piano part. And as far as the piano part, I mean, it's nice. It's just that there was a couple parts I was like, oh shit, like it was good. But then all of a sudden you just had this, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you're using, but all of a sudden the piano just kind of fades out real quick. It's just like a quick cut off, let's say. So you got to check that. It's just a quick cut off, like a quick pause or something like that. So it just kind of sounded kind of weird that, so just, make some adjustments on that. But like I said, drums are really tight. I like that shit. You gotta let me know where you get those drums, man. Especially that snare. You gotta send me that snare. That's some dope shit. Yeah, man. All right. So next up, we got the last beat. It's Superior Beats with Pablo. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Superior Beats, Pablo. So this beat's dope. I like this shit. Okay, I mean, the main thing that I can take away from this is that it's well structured. Okay, it's very well put together, And that's something I'm always looking for when I'm reviewing the beats here, is that, you can put together a beat. Anybody can do that. It's just to structure a beat and make it sound good and all that, keep it moving, keep it flowing. That's what's the tricky part. Okay, so in your case, you did that. That's really good. Now, the one thing it would be that I would criticize would be a couple things would be the kick. Kick's nice. The snare's nice. With the kick, though, it goes so well with the bass, but it's just, since the bass is so heavy and the kick is heavy too, it thumps. It's one of those thumping kicks and all that stuff. And that's fine. I mean, it works. It's just that, for my liking, I would just ease up on it a bit, because it's one of those tricky ones where you got the kick and the bass. It comes in, but then the bass kind of, like we have that whooping bass where it just goes up again in tone, let's say. So it's not too heavy. Okay, so it's okay, but still I would address it. Okay, I would take a look at it. But the other thing is the snare. I think the snare is good. I think it just needs to be a little quieter in the mix. I think it's just a little too prominent, because I'm listening to it and I don't know, it just sounded kind of loud compared to everything else, but that's me. I don't know. I'm just giving my opinion, but no, I think that it should be toned down just a bit, because I think it's a little too loud in the mix. But I like the little vocal snippet. That's dope. I love the way you bring in different instruments and stuff. When you brought in those strings, that was some nice shit right there. That really brought out, the sound, the tone of the beat and stuff, And again, that comes back to what I was saying about keeping the beat moving and stuff, So this is a dope beat. I could easily see somebody rapping on top of this. I mean, for sure. Or it could stand on its own, and that's important, I mean, it's one thing to make a beat specifically for an MC, but if you can make one for an MC and that can hold its own as an instrumental, I mean, that's really dope, that's some dope shit. So yeah, I like that beat. All right, so okay, that's it. Okay, so I'm Mr. Fade. This is Attack of the Beats. Keep sending your beats in. I'll keep reviewing them. And my favorite beat this time, the winner is, drumroll please, Superior Beats with Pablo. Let's check it out.